Right, so we're going to go through the system walkthrough. Ryan, now for this esports walkthrough, obviously everything starts with a Simrig. I want to bring Jack in here. Jack, go into a bit more detail about your rig, the specifics of the Fanatec, and obviously the PC that's running it, your display. Explain all of that.
Yes, so I mean the main thing is the rig itself. So we're using a playset Formula Intelligence, playseat Formula Intelligence, my bad. And on it we've got a Fanatec CSL DD. We've got the boost kit on it. The main thing with a wheel is you want to get the right amount of torque, the right amount of feel for it. So we've got the 8Nm boost kit version, which is putting forward enough force to be able to get the feel, start to know where your car's slipping. We've also then got the Fanatec CSL pedals as well. Same thing is, it's a load cell pedal. The idea is you get the same feel as you do the actual car. Going back further to the rig, we've got a single PC that's running the actual game itself. Nice and easy to use. We've got a 3070 in it. You don't need too much power to be able to run a rig like this. But yeah, no, that's the rig.
Lovely. Obviously attached to the rig there are a few things that we've kind of added on here. What we've got is one of these GTMs from Glensan that kindly loaned us this. Now with that it's running Dante audio so that the commentator can actually speak to the competitor. Ryan, explain a bit more about that part of it.
So the audio we've got here, basically we've got Glensan we've partnered up with. They've supplied us with the AVoIPoE Express Mini, which is our commentator desk there. We've got the GTM Esports system there as well as a couple of PoE speakers we've got on the network. Now, in terms of how the audio's set up, we've been able to do it so Stuart, who was our commentator when we did the esports scenario this morning, he's actually our camera up now, so I can't easily introduce him. I'm sure he could give a cheeky wave in front of the camera. Perfect. So he was able to actually talk through the AVoIPoE Express Mini to the competitor and actually have an open conversation during their hot lap. So it's a great way of trying to have that immersive broadcast experience and make everyone part of a production. Now, also in terms of audio on there, I might actually bring Darren into the conversation purely because there was a couple of extra elements that we routed through there. So, Darren, can I just interrupt you for a second? We've just been talking about how we've got the commentary set up. Do you mind just talking us through how we've configured the audio of the GTM? Because it's not the most straightforward solution we've gone for, is it?
No, so we've got the GTM, we've got a direct feed coming from the comms setup, so we've got two separate Dante channels coming through, so they'll independently come in, so whoever's in-game can hear. Vice versa, we've also routed the audio from the GTM back to comms, and that will also come out on the master mix on our production. You can change all the audio channels independently as well. It's really handy for esports, the GTM stuff. We've also rigged in a few other little Dante bits, so we've got the Divine speakers, which can do up to 4 separate network channels on it. We've got them set up, so at the moment this is currently set to the 2nd channel, which is picking up the feed actually from the other end of the room. So we've got that being routed by one channel. The other channel is the audio from the cars, so when the esports setup is going around, competitors can still hear themselves back with the game audio. And that's another thing we've also got from the GTM. We've got the in-car audio routing back through, so everything can be heard on the headset, but it's all routed separately through the network, and we can control ticking on and off as and when we need it. I mean, there are a few other bits kicking around, but I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what we had in, but I'll pass you back to Brian.
Let's go over here and actually go through some of the other. So we've also got the NUC here from ThinLabs. Now, this is a PoE NUC. Not only does it run on PoE, but it also is driving these 4 displays that you can see, all running at 1080p, all off of the network switch on 90 watts. So how have you found that, and how are we using it in this workflow?
So we've actually utilised it here as our commentary station. So what we've done is we've got a couple of different camera feeds coming in via NDI. So we've got our games feed and program output coming into one of the displays. We've got our scoreboard on another one. And then we've also got a close-up camera just over there. So that was actually supplied to us by Panasonic Connect. That's their CX350, which has got one of their NDI licenses on. And the great thing there is it's pretty much plug and play. It's one of the few cameras on the market that's got a full fat Ethernet connection on the back of it, and you can literally plug it straight into the network, and all of a sudden you'd open up an NDI viewer, for example, and you can actually see the input come straight through, select, and you can bring that feed wherever you like. So we've got a feed coming into commentary, and also we've got a feed coming in over to production there. So it means Darren could mix it in vMix, and he could actually have that as part of our live broadcast show. In fact, actually, Stuart, if you just pan over towards the main screen there we've got from Vestel, you can see we've got it as a picture-in-picture feed at the bottom there. So it becomes a very versatile feed. And I say that's one of the main core things we've got as a lot of our video distribution is NDI. So we've got that utilised, as Darren mentioned, for using the audio, but also for the video from our Bird Dog PTZ camera. So that's a Bird Dog PTZ 240 camera there. And again, that's got an NDI output. It's configured out the box as DHCP. So it's very much a plug-and-play camera. See, do you want to talk us through the backbone?
Yeah, so we're using a 1 gig network because that's what we need. It's fine for what we've got, running everything on 1080p. And to be able to distribute the signal, we're actually using SY Electronics Excalibur 88. Now, this is, you can see here, the 88, the Excalibur here, is a matrix switch that we're utilizing here. And we've actually got that connected up so that this could be, let's say, in a rack somewhere. And if we come over here, you can see the keypad controller. Now, this is an anticipated product from SY Electronics. This is the keypad controllers. Now, this is all connected so that we can control the matrix switch from this controller here. And one of these extenders here that comes with the set for the Excalibur range, and that's driving the signals into the displays. So we've been kind enough from Hikvision to get 2 displays, and also another 2 displays from Vestel to demonstrate. There was a couple of LFDs there that are 75-inch and some 55-inch Hikvision ones here as well that we're utilizing here for our demo.
Fantastic. So yeah, I say it's fair to say that it's a really sharp picture we're getting from both the displays from both manufacturers. So again, a massive thank you to Hikvision and Vestel for allowing us to utilise those as part of our production to show off our esports thing. Now, going back to esports, if you're an esports competitor, it's likely that you're actually going to spend quite a lot of time sat down, etc. And something actually came up earlier in conversation from one of the other exhibitors, didn't it, Sia?
That's right. But these aren't a pair of titties. These are actually for your feet. Now, if you're sitting and playing esports or even on your desk, your blood flow needs to go down to your legs. Now, let's go over here. Please explain a bit more about your wonderful leg flow.
Well, it is such a simple device, and it's designed to increase blood flow to the lower limbs for people when they're sedentary, so gamers, e-sport fanatics, people who work at desks, or even when you fly. Our research showed that after just 90 minutes of being sedentary, your blood flow to the lower limbs has decreased by over 50%, and that decrease in blood flow is what causes a deep vein thrombosis. And what we've noticed recently is with lots of gamers who are gaming for longer, with games being more interactive and more challenging, and a bit like your show kind of stand over there with this motor racing game, people are more involved and interactive, and they play globally now, as you know. So you sat there for hours, kind of quite often hours on end, just gaming, having great fun. But what we want to try and advise people of is just if you are gaming or anything like that, the RBR leg flow. What it does, it sits under your feet, doesn't get in the way, it's very light, easy to use. We've got 3 exercises that have been created. And those exercises increase blood flow over tenfold, which significantly reduces any threat of a DVT ever happening. And we're getting behind it with our campaign at the moment called Game Safe, purely and simply because we're helping several families at the moment who have sadly lost young children or young adults to DVT through gaming. And it's something that should never happen. Gaming is about fun, excitement, challenges, as I said, and friendships. So yeah, we're here today to talk about, just raise a bit of awareness about thrombosis and DVT.
And of course, you were also on the Dragon's Den. You've got the video here. Explain what that was like.
Oh, that was quite a surreal experience, I must admit. Yeah, that went out last year. We got 2 Cursulium as a dragon, which was fantastic. We filmed for about 2.5 hours, and they edited it down to, I think, about 16 minutes, which is surreal. Wonderful experience, wonderful exposure. And basically, to do something like that, to raise the awareness, I think about 10.5 million people watched the programme. For us, as a small company with such a unique, world's only device that we got here, it was fantastic. It was too big an opportunity not to take, and it was an absolutely amazing experience.
And where can people find out more information?
Well, obviously, kind of on our website, which is rbrlegflow.com. Or just type in RBR Legflow on Amazon or Google or anything like that, and up we pop. So yeah, more than happy to speak to anyone or help anyone with any issues they have with DVT.
Lovely, and you've kindly given me one of these. I'm not going to use them as fake titties. I'm going to use them for my things, but it's fantastic. Great stuff.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Perfect. So I say that's a great insight, something which had never even crossed my mind until we opened up that conversation earlier today. So I'd actually like to shift the conversation back towards BirdDog, if I may. So yeah. I mentioned briefly that we had the P240 PTZ camera. I want to have a quick look. If we just turn around, Stuart, we'll have a quick look actually at the controller. And I say we've got the main output for the BirdDog up on our big display at the back there. But we've got the lovely tactile controller, which actually you can probably see actually on the screen on vMix. This camera there. So if I'm going to zoom in on your face here, see ya? Let's see how close we can get. Perfect. But I say the great thing I love is the sheer responsiveness of the controls here. And if we just take a quick look at that, if I just roll it over, we've got a single cable going in. So the great thing here is it's a PoE powered device. And we just literally hook this straight into our Netgear switch, and it streamlines the whole approach really. And I think I did a quick tally up yesterday. I think we've got 12 devices which are PoE powered on this stand in total, which, to be fair, really streamlines our approach. And I say, while we're also on the conversation of BirdDog, we've actually got one of the BirdDog Play devices just sat in the background here, which we're actually using basically to decode an NDI feed and send it into one of the channels we've got on the Excalibur Matrix. Now, the interesting thing about that device is, traditionally, it's not PoE powered. It actually runs off a USB-C for its power supply. But we've actually got a PoE splitter, so we can take the PoE from the switch and we can split it to a data channel and then also to a USB-C. So it means not necessarily the device has to actually be PoE enabled. We can retrofit that as an add-on as well.
Brilliant. And later on, we're going to have some of the guys from SY Electronics come down to give us a bit more in-depth, and we'll go through the new keypad controllers. But up until then, thank you very much, and let's go on to the next section.